If you struggle to come up with winning creatives that allow you to acquire customers consistently and profitably for your e-commerce brand, then this video is definitely going to be for you. We're going to be talking about the structure of a winning creative, and be sure to stick around towards the end of the video where we will be going over examples of how the structure is used for some of the best e-commerce brands in different industries at the moment. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jack. I'm the founder here at Scenarius. We are a paid advertising agency based here in London that helps e-commerce brands set up effective campaigns on Facebook and Instagram. And as I said, we're going to be talking about Facebook ad creatives today. Your Facebook creatives is going to be the number one factor in determining the success, or rather failure, of your Facebook ad campaigns. And a key to a powerful creative is really understanding, first of all, your product, the consumer you're selling to, and the modes of persuasion that you're going to use to essentially get someone to stop scrolling from their feed and pay attention to your brand, get them off the platform, and eventually into a paying customer. So the first thing that your ad has to do is essentially grab the attention of the consumer. And that brings us to the first step of structuring your winning Facebook ad creative, which is the hook. What is it within the first few seconds that's going to get the consumer interested enough to stop scrolling and actually pay attention to your ad? This could be a number of things. It can be just something that catches their eye, especially if you're a brand that's more geared towards the aesthetic of your product, like jewelry, accessory, fashion brand. It can also be a problem. So obviously, if you are a brand that produces a product for a certain type of problem and it solves that problem, then pointing out that pain point or that problem initially in those first 3 seconds is definitely going to hook people in and get them at least interested and intrigued in your brand. The second section of a powerful advertisement is going to be how you set up the problem and creating an emotional response in the consumer. That's going to ring particularly true if you are a brand that produces a product that solves a specific type of problem. What you want to try to do is really kind of focus on that problem and even try to resonate with the consumer on an emotional level by showcasing the pain points of that problem. So for example, if you're a skincare brand, just a very quick example, and you talk about acne, for example, actually showcasing the kind of the pain of having acne or the shame of, feeling insecure about it or whatever the case may be, is really going to help you trigger that response in the consumer and get them hooked in and interested in the solution that you are bound to offer. The third thing is obviously the solution. So you've hooked the consumer in, you've talked about the pain point and the problem, you made the consumer feel at least that you understand their problem, and now you want to bring in your product as the hero and demonstrate how it solves that problem. You want to talk about the benefits of using the product and what features your product has that actually delivers the benefit. And that's going to be really, really important. And I'll emphasize this when we jump into the examples. A big question that always comes up when you're showcasing some of the benefits is what are the features that actually deliver those benefits? So for example, staying on the skincare example, looking at the ingredients that actually solve the problem would be a really good way of highlighting what it is about your product that actually solves the problem. The fourth section to a winning ad creative is going to be social proof. So the immediate question that's going to come up in your consumer's head, let's say again, they're scrolling, they see your ad, they're hooked in, they've seen the solution that you've brought about. People are skeptical, they don't trust your brand, especially if they don't know it. You need to deliver them a lot of social proof to get them to trust the brand. And obviously social proof can come in many different forms. So either testimonials, PR campaigns, demonstration, even studies, if you've ever done any, to kind of demonstrate your product and why it solves the problem very well. The fifth section of a winning ad creative is going to be objection handling. So this is something that you really want to kind of think about, especially when you're when there's a lot of questions that needs to be answered before someone buys your product. So what I would recommend you do is, let's say you've created a creative, always try to show it to someone within your target audience or some of your consumers maybe, and see what the reaction is and if any objections come up. And you want to try to deal with those objections in the advertisement, as they could be an impediment to actually going ahead and buying your product. So again, continuing on with the skincare example, let's say you're selling an oil and some of the customers feel like this oil might clog their pores. If you don't deal with that in the advertisement, it's very likely to stop that consumer from going to the website and checking out the product further, because they're just going to assume that, oh yeah, well, I've tried oils and they clog my pores. The sixth section for a powerful ad creative is going to be demonstration. Again, this is going to vary between brands and industries, but you want to demonstrate the product and showcase people using it. That's going to be very, very important. And the seventh and final thing that you always want to include in a winning creative is a call to action. You actually want to tell the consumer what you want them to do after you've portrayed your marketing message, essentially going to your website in 99% of cases and perhaps incentivizing them to do so by offering some sort of introductory discount or something like that. One thing I'll mention here in all of the points that we're going over, we're always talking about top of funnel ads because that's going to be the most important section of the funnel in terms of acquiring customers. And I would say it should be taking up 80% of your time when you're creating creatives to focus on those top of funnel creatives that are actually acquiring new customers for you, for the brand. So let's actually jump into some examples, and hopefully you'll really see how the structure is being put into play with different industries, different brands. And again, the 7 points that we talked about are not written in stone. You can mix them around. Some products need all of them. Some products don't really need them. And we'll look at different examples and we'll see what elements are being used and why. So here's our first example. I'm going to play the ad and then we're going to break down the elements of what's included.
I've dealt with acne and scars and stuff like that, but it was severe, you guys. So I needed to find something that was going to give me my glow back.
I have been raving about this gleaming mask. It's been my only hope. You can literally see how bright my future is.
Get it yourselves, okay?
Okay, so that was a really powerful one. There was a lot going on, and hopefully now you'll be able to point out the different sections and how they've structured the ad to give it the best chance of success. So the hook, first few seconds, we're talking about the problem. This is a skincare brand, obviously, that claims to fight acne naturally. And then you'll see here with the first few seconds, I've dealt with acne and scars. So immediately a trigger for someone who has dealt with these issues before. And then they have this kind of bold header, fight acne naturally, which is going to grab a lot of attention.
I've dealt with acne and scars and stuff like that, but it was severe, you guys. So I needed to find something that was going to give me my glow back.
So I needed to find something, again, jumping into that solution part of the ad where we're talking about the product and how it solved their problem.
I have been raving about this gleaming mask.
Jumping into social proof right away. And what you'll notice with advertisement, in order to kind of shorten the ad, because no one wants to watch a 10-minute advertisement, you want to kind of combine some of the elements that I talked about in the winning creative structure and do those simultaneously. So what you're seeing here is they're demonstrating the product, they are generating social proof and talking about the solution and benefits at the same time by showcasing different women using the mask and talking about it.
It's been my only hope. You can literally see how bright my future is.
Get it yourselves, okay?
Very subtle call to action towards the end, but a really, really good one nonetheless. Shop now at gleaming.com. Really powerful ad. I mean, this can convert people all day as long as obviously there's demand for those sort of products. Really powerful stuff. Good job to the people who put it together. Let's jump into our next example. So the next example, very different. This is a brand called Vincero watches. Let's watch the ad right here and then we'll break it down.
Do you know what's hard to find? Reputable, good-looking watches for under $200. But here at Vincero, we're changing that.
So very, very interesting start to the ad. Again, with a watch brand, it's more about the aesthetic, and you can get away with creating ads that are just revolving around the aesthetic, and you'll get people interested, especially if you have really great designs. People like the designs. You'll definitely create some interest. But at the same time, it also kind of solves a problem, especially with Vincero watches. They solve a problem within the market where it's hard to find, as he said, reputable watch brands for under $200, and they start off the ad with that, with a very, very strong hook along with text overlay. That's going to grab a lot of attention in those first few seconds. With Vincero watches, the actual demonstration part isn't how the watch actually, solves the problem of what time it is. It's actually showcasing the lifestyle of the type of consumer, how it looks, the aesthetic. That's kind of what you're selling with a watch brand.
We spent years trying to find the perfect balance between style, price, service, and sustainability. And here's where we're at today. Our designs are built completely in-house from the ground up. Our watches are sourced from quality.
So can you actually point out what's going on here? Why are they talking about the manufacturing process? You can interpret this in different ways, but one way is a lot of people will have objections with watches that are under $200 in the sense that they're actually cheap to produce, and so they're actually talking about the quality of the production and showing some clips on the behind the scenes of the watch creation, and that's going to be really, really powerful to deal with that objection and get people over that hump of, oh yeah, it's a $200 watch, it's probably made of plastic or something like that.
Raw materials from trusted manufacturers across the globe. And we've got a full-time team based here in San Diego to provide.
So another subtle objection, if you picked up to it, a lot of people will also think that this is outsourced to foreign labor, whereas they're talking about being produced here in San Diego, or at least designed. This is quite a long ad, so we won't go through it all, but they just continue about the manufacturing. They have some social proof towards the end here. Let's see if I can show you some reviews, 80,000 plus 5-star reviews, and then some more lifestyle clips towards the end. So really, really powerful ad, a little bit on the longer side, but perhaps they're trying to kind of really get someone to buy into the brand, especially as a little bit of a higher priced product. Obviously, not relative to watches, but relative to e-commerce, a watch is pretty expensive. So really, really solid ad, and again, really great brand. You've probably seen them. They actually do a lot of influencer marketing as well on YouTube. Okay, our next example, again, I'm trying to switch things up. This is a supplement brand called Hydrant. Let's jump into the ad.
I've been trying to stay hydrated more. I don't drink enough water.
I've had such low energy in the morning.
I like to drink something with just a little bit of flavor.
I needed to find a solution to my problem. Hydrant is a rapid hydration.
Okay, so I think you guys are starting to get familiar with this and starting to get the gist of this. You saw here a really great hook. Again, they're incorporating both social proof and the problem statement in one. I've been trying to stay hydrated more. I've been hearing this a lot, even in just social circles, in the sense of, it's hard to get your, what is it, like 8 liters of water a day. So that's something that a lot of people suffer from, and being able to target that in the initial first few seconds of the ad is going to be really important. Again, incorporating different influencers here to talk about the product and, where they like it. And that also gives you an ability to kind of showcase different avatars within your target audience and relate to each one individually. That's kind of a subtle thing here, not really included in the structure we talked about, but also I thought I'd mention it.
Low energy in the morning.
I like to drink something with just a little bit of flavor.
I needed to find a solution to my problem. Hydrant is a rapid hydration drink.
Yeah, I mean, they're not being very subtle about the structure of the ad. Again, she literally said, I want to find a solution to the problem, so you can point that out there.
Drink mix, rapid hydration drink mix.
I definitely feel more energy during my workouts. Drink this during the day.
But it gives me the energy that I need to get through my day.
Like, I'm so excited about Hydrant because I genuinely love it.
Super easy to use. They come in these individually wrapped packages.
So now we're jumping into the demonstration part.
I look forward to it when I get up in the morning.
I've told all my friends, and now I'm telling you, you have to try Hydrant.
Okay, so can you guys actually point out what's missing in this ad? Because I can clearly see something very, very obviously missing. That would be the fact that they haven't told us a lot about what is it in those packets that hydrate you more than your good old-fashioned water. So that's something that they could perhaps incorporate if they get feedback on the ads, but I'm sure they do so in other ads that they have running. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more example. Again, I don't want to make the video too long, so one more example very quickly. Different brand as well, furniture brand. Again, I'm just trying to give you guys a variety just to kind of inspire you with different ideas and also cater to anyone who is starting a different brand in a different industry as well. So this next ad is by a furniture company called Borrow. Really, really great designs. I actually like this brand. And let's jump into the ad. A very short one, but again, I want you to try to pick up on the different sections that they're incorporating.
Borrow is furniture from a different angle for better shipping, assembling, and living. Borrow. Okay, so a lot of things are going on, a lot of things are happening at the same time, so it's a bit difficult to kind of point everything out. So what's the hook? The hook, I would say, here is kind of the aesthetic. Again, with furniture, it's about the way it looks and kind of the lifestyle that goes along with it, and they portray that quite well with the first few seconds, as well as the fact that they're pointing out what this ad's about. Borrow is furniture, getting some brand recognition in there in those first few seconds. Then somewhat of a demonstration right here, just showcasing the couch. and then they actually showcase some of the features of the brand. So one of the features of this brand is that they send you the furniture in these kind of very ergonomic boxes. So you can see here that they're showcasing that. So that's a very subtle feature, and that's also a pain point that people kind of find with furniture. They're usually just very bulky items, they're hard to move around, and so showcasing the fact that they actually send them in these boxes is kind of solving that problem as well.
For better shipping, assembly.
Talk about assembly, so ease of use. Again, there's probably more to be done with the creative of actually demonstrating them assembling one of their items and showcasing how easy it is. I can imagine they can do that by like a time lapse or something like that, but nonetheless they do point it out here. Okay, so there's something clearly missing here towards the end. Obviously, there's no call to action, but if you actually look at the copy right here, you'll see that they obviously create a call to action in the copy, so they cover that there. Okay, so I hope this video gave you a good idea of what structure you can refer to whenever you're creating creatives to make sure that you're incorporating the main elements that you need specific to your brand, obviously, and industry, that's going to give you the best chance of success when it comes to Facebook and Instagram advertising. Again, just to summarize some of the points that we talked about very quickly, we have the hook. Again, really focus on that and test different hooks in order to kind of get the attention of the consumer. What's the problem and the pain points that you're looking to solve? What's the solution, and how does your product provide that? The evidence, which is going to usually be in the form of testimonials, PR campaigns, something like that, to kind of gain the trust of the consumer. Objection handling, that's something I see typically missed, is if there's any objections that come up very frequently for consumers who are interested in your brand, you want to deal with those in the ads as best you can. Sixth thing is demonstration. This is especially true for products that have technical kind of elements to them. You want to demonstrate the product. And seventh is going to be the call to action. We also went over some examples. I hope you found those useful. If you do find the content valuable, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more content like this. And we'll see you guys in the next one.